Peacekeepers in Bosnia. The British Army has been here for more than a decade through one of the bloodiest civil wars of the last century. They are part of the multinational NATO force, SFOR. Their job, to stop a new outbreak of war. Every 6 months, a fresh regiment arrives. For the first time, the British Army has allowed cameras to follow its Bosnian peacekeepers in action. Today, we find out whether British squaddies can really hack it. In the basic combat fitness test, you carry 55 pounds for 8 miles in just 2 hours. And don't look for sympathy if you fail.
You caused this, people falling behind. Your fault.
5:30 a.m, Manjaka Base, northern Bosnia. For the army, fitness is always a priority. 40 soldiers from British regiments in Bosnia are sleeping in Spartan accommodation.
As you can see, the space is confined. 2 soldiers to this matchbox.
They're here to take part in the basic combat fitness test.
Doesn't it drive you crazy sleeping 6 to a room?
Not really, no, because sometimes it does a small space, but other times it's good for morale because you got your mates saying, have a good banter. Keeps you going through hard times like today. It's a bit tough.
The test is tough. An 8-mile hike, most of it running, carrying rifles and packs weighing a total of 55 pounds. The time limit, just 2 hours.
Push right foot forward, keep the right leg straight, support yourself on your left leg.
Those who succeed today can continue on the 5-week Lance Corporal's course, the so-called Junior Non-Commissioned Officers Cadre, including far tougher fitness tests and written exams.
At the moment there's 15 vacancies for Lance Corporal, so it's very competitive. The top 15 in the cadre will get promoted immediately. The remainder, however, that pass the cadre will just wait until vacancies arrive, and then they'll get promoted.
Raise your hand.
The bags are weighed to check the soldiers are carrying the required load. It's day 2 of the course, and already 2 privates have been thrown off for failing to complete yesterday's run, a much easier one, just 1.5 miles in 10 minutes. Private David Crosby, Captain Crosby's son, is also in the Royal Scots. He's a PT instructor, so today's test shouldn't hold any terrors for him. But by the end of today, there will be more dropouts. There always are.
Because that's to, obviously, simulate carrying ammunition, water, rations and any other equipment you need to take into battle. Integrity is a major point of being a junior NCO. I would just check to make sure that we're basically cheating. They're not cheating. And if they are cheating, they're only cheating themselves. And that's why we wait again at the end, just in case somebody's dropped some of the
Because they'll just try and take shortcuts.
Yeah.
And if they take shortcuts like that,
then they'll
there's a
put
good
men's
chance.
lives at risk.
Exactly. When they go out to the field operations anywhere in theatre, they could take risks and somebody could die because of their risks taken.
If you think you've got a problem, get yourself there, because it's easier than falling back from the back. Turn and face your left.
Get to the front if you have a problem. Easier said than done. PT instructor Lance Corporal Greg Dixon leads them out. These privates have to pass 4 such physical endurance tests in the first 3 days of the Junior Non-Commissioned Officers course. If they survive, they'll face 5 weeks of further tough challenges. With only 15 immediate vacancies for Lance Corporal, the competition's going to be intense. But the reward is considerable, promotion and a pay rise of £3,000 a year.
Right, into the hill. Short and sharp. Look around you. Stay focused. Just shuffle the feet. No need to sprint. This hill is in the head. If you keep saying that, you'll get to the top.
Get him up there, teamwork, get him up there. fit?
Nice and tight.
Get up there. Come on. Keep with him. Push him up. Get him up there.
There's a gaps up here.
The whole point is to convince the recruits that pain is mental, not physical. The army wants to train out of the troops the urge to give up, to show weakness, to blame others, to fail. It's not the task that makes you fail, they say, it's yourself.
Far too far behind. You sacked it. I can clearly see it, you don't give a shite. If you want it that bad, you get your ass up there. As you said, this is a hard bit. Hey! Close it up in the rear!
Come on.
Get up!
Come on, keep in mind. Come on, let's go.
Hey!
Private Baini Balu Bul Bulumaku, a Fijian, is one of the fittest men on the course. He plays rugby for the army. He's got energy and sympathy to spare for those who are struggling.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Get up there! Get up there now! Get up! Hey! It's a stroll in the park! Now open your legs! Stop feeling sorry yourselves and get up there! Embarrassment! Paul, get him up.
Are you declaring an emergency, sir?
Watch all episodes of Ice Pilots. Watch on mobile devices or the big screen. All for free. No subscription required.
Get your ass up. You're feeling sorry for yourself, get your ass up. Waka, get up there. Get up there, Waka. Barrow, Patterson. Sir. Hey? He's back, chef, he's back. He's back, get him up. As you find out, it's the fitter ones. Bullet McCann, Fijian. No dramas, fit, rugby player. He knows the Fijians, he knows the jokes.
I'm playing in the 7-a-side team for the British Army team and the 15-a-side. So that's why I keep myself fit all the time. So I can show to the other guys or even to the young jocks how you can be a good soldier. Follow the command and you can keep it going even how long you stay in the army.
Let's go. Hey, you've given up. You've given up. And you just got to get to the top of the hill. You've given up. If you haven't given up, get up there! Haven't given up my arse. I can see it in your face, you've sacked it. That guy could be carrying the medical kit. That guy could be carrying the ammo. That guy could be carrying the morphine. And we're losing our equipment. Because he can't be arsed staying with a team.
Oh, there's the camera, look good. Doesn't matter how you feel.
It's like the retreat from Dunkirk here. It's a retreat from Dunkirk. I'm embarrassed. Half of you's not even sweating. The only one that's sweating is me. And I'm twice as old as you. They were doing okay to start off with, but the hill, because they've got it in the head that this is going to be the beaster, the guys just sacked it, the weaker ones. But once they get to the top, they'll realise it was a piece of piss and they'll form up again. Hopefully, everybody should pass it. We've only had one guy drop out, and that was Chancery.
That was who?
Downs, Private Downs. I think he's got a leg injury. He's in the back with the medic in the Land Rover.
That's not bad, only one down.
We'll see. We've just started. We haven't even got the 4 mile point yet.
What do you mean you've just started? You're actually about halfway through, aren't you?
3 miles.
You're not a bit, don't you think you're a bit harsh on them when you shout?
If I don't shout, I'm going to boot my arse. They'll just walk and they'll get into their head that it's too hard for them and they'll sack it straight away. So they want sympathy and we're the closest to the mother. So we'll give them a good boot with the arse and keep going. But the majority of these guys are fit anyway. It's just in the head. Once you see one drop out, it's a chain reaction, everybody starts dropping out. And it's, before you know it, we've only got a handful up the front. That's a hard bit finished now, so get up there and get the pack.
Coming up, if you think that looked hard, wait for the second half of the test.
Drive through, wale wai. Mari, lako, toso.
Where are you? Get up the front. Get in the front rank. Somebody move back one.
40 privates from the Army's Bosnian peacekeeping contingent are on the second arduous day of the JNCO, the Junior Non-Commissioned Officers course.
Look, Pat! It's a dodo. Next hurdle will be just at the other end of that camp there, and you'll see it. That's when the true colours will come out. It's the hardest rank to get, but it's the easiest to lose because they're that young, you know. And it's five weeks course.
To let you go, because you better cheer them on.
Because I need the ambulance.
It's the second of 3 days of physical tests. Heavily loaded, they're part running, part walking, over 8 miles of Bosnia's mountainous terrain. And there's no point in feeling sorry for themselves. The NCOs and officers judging them do everything the squaddies have to do, and more. Captain Crosby certainly can't show any sympathy, least of all for his son, David.
He's doing fine, he's up there. Like I said, he's a physical training instructor and he's been helping the lads at the front there. So he's doing quite good, huh? Not too bad.
Yeah, you proud of him?
No. No, I was joking, yeah, am I? Even more so if he gets through this course, because it's a hard demanding course. It's maybe a wee bit more pressure, me being the boss, but that's life. Certainly it's a family regiment, and there's a lot of fathers, sons now, the next sort of generation are in now. There's a lot of cousins and uncles, you know, that type of thing. Brothers, my brother was in the regiment as well. So it's quite a family regiment, because we obviously recruit from a small local area, Edinburgh and the Lothians.
Vehicle front!
We get postings outside, but then we'll come back. So we get to know each other all the way through our careers.
And you did this about 22 years ago, didn't you?
1981, and I'm doing it again. I must have failed the first time. I'd always been interested in the army. I joined at 16 as a boy. I'd always wanted to join the army. That's all I've ever wanted to do. So I done it. Simple as that.
How are you feeling?
Fine. No, not too bad myself. I'm a P-type myself, so I find these things quite easy.
Yeah? You're not sweating?
Nah, not yet. I will do it when we get down the hill.
Is it hard work having your dad as the captain?
Well, I've been in for 3.5 years. I've sort of got used to it now, so it's not too bad now.
He doesn't expect too much of you, don't you?
I'm a different person, so I just do my own thing.
Hey, this is pass or fail now, guys. Pass or fail. This is it. 4 miles back. The easy part is downhill.
And the hard part is uphill.
Shut the door and get the heater on.
Immediately up front.
Engineers are supposed to be up the front to secure through minefields and bridge gaps. How the heck can the infantry get through to the front if the engineers are at the back? Hey, get up there. A leader leads from the front, not the rear.
Some of the men are really suffering. They don't seem up to the physical standards the army requires.
Nice and tight. Hey, what the? Hey, get up there! Hey, what's going on here? We're nearly finished and we're throwing the towel in! Hey, get this sorted out!
A couple of soldiers at the back say they're injured.
Stay with the PTI or you make it harder for everybody else! You suck it! Push up! Leave it! Get up there! Leave it! Leave! Get up!
Sergeant Major Borthwick is not impressed.
He's given in, both of them, Harriet and him. Is it McIntyre? McIntyre. Hey, you're nearly there. You're nearly there, guys. Give in. Legs, get up! Now! Hey, you'll get an Oscar for this. Get up! It's just at the top there. If you want it that bad, you'll prove that you can do it. So get up there, get up the crowd and move your ass. Get going. Come on, don't throw it away. Get him on. You only do once, you only do one, that is it, one. You caused this, people falling behind. Your fault. Now get up, get up. Hey, who's that limping? Who's that limping? Right, get up there. Shite, get up there, get up there!
Right, Kyle, you make it with us. Walker, you make
Come on, get up there. You want it that much, you get up there. McIntyre started that shite.
No, I'll leave him.
Hey, don't...
If they get through the first 3 days of physical endurance tests, they can then try to make it as Lance Corporals.
Hey, if it was me, you'd be booted off the course.
They'll have 5 weeks to prove themselves in weapons handling, map reading, first aid, trench building, survival skills, battle drills, and more.
I was actually getting excited because we kept in 3 ranks coming down the hill. But that pathetic effort at the end was embarrassing. Embarrassing. It was like a retreat from Dunkirk. In fact, you know what we should do? We should about turn and do that again.
I've got time.
Embarrassing. It's supposed to be trying to be leaders. My hoop.
Despite appearances, the instructors expect 3/4 to pass the JNCO course. They'll be graded from 1, the top level, to 4, meaning they still need to improve. The best 15 will get immediate promotion. They'll be leading patrols in the Bosnian villages soon. The others will have to wait.
Basic combat fitness test. We carry the weight, we carry there, we go 8 miles, we do 15-minute miles, and we do it in 2 hours. Nice and easy. Yeah, you'd think it was a big endurance course for selection, wouldn't you? Because we're not even halfway up the hill, and we've got a string of people all the way back. I said yesterday, I shouldn't need to shout myself hoarse. I've got a sore throat again. You're supposed to be able to motivate yourselves. It's within yourself. You want to be a commander, you want to be a leader, you've got to be highly motivated. Pain has a Richter scale of 1 to 10. When you hit 10, that's when you stop. If you're anywhere in between that, you don't stop, you keep going. We've got to keep going. We're training for battle. We're training for war.
The packs are weighed to check that no one has chucked part of his load. They discover that one of the soldiers who struggled had overloaded his pack.
You carrying too much? Too much? Well, that's your own problem. You learnt the hard way there. It's Downs and Marion back. They're getting after you.
2 of the guys have failed. They'll be sent back to their regiments.
You're a vicious man, Sergeant Major. He's a vicious man.
He is a vicious man. Are they all okay?
Yeah, they're fine. They're walking. So basically, they get a hot brew down them, get showered and changed, and start the next lesson at 11 o'clock.
No, but I mean, have they all passed?
No, two failed. Two failed.
They're the ones that say they had injuries. Now we can't confirm they had injuries. We know that one has possibly got an injury, but the other one, it could be just sacked it, jumped in the Land Rover saying he's got an injury.
Are you going to have to tell him?
Oh, we'll tell him. He's sacked because we'll just say go and pack your kit. Oh, well, I'll say go and pack your kit, but he'll do it in a nice...
I'll do it officially.
In a nice, polite manner.
So, what, are you the good guy and the mean guy? Is that how you play it?
Oh, he's a mean
guy. Bad cop, good cop.
Good, yeah. So they're under a lot of pressure?
Oh, aye, yeah.
How can you does it manifest itself?
That's it.
But you don't understand the word manifest, do you? So, well, I'll answer that one then.
Does,
well, it does, eh?
It does.
It's a good question. It's a good question. How does it manifest itself now? You know, speak to him.
You've lost me now completely. Right, the psychological effect, yeah, right, is obviously the weather, the coldness, the cramped accommodation. I mean, they've got about 3 showers to, you know, use for 40 blokes, 36 blokes. You know, there's no beer bar, there's no tuck shop for them, nothing. It's all that.
Tomorrow they'll be taking the advanced combat fitness test, a 12-mile run carrying the full weight with no walking. It's expected that more will fail and be sent back to their regiments.
Right guys, unfortunately, you didn't meet the required standard in the basic combat fitness test. All right, so the result of that means that you're going to be returned back to your parent company that you came for. However, that's not all doom and gloom, is it? All right? I know some of you have carried injuries and some of you have had them for a while, and we took the chance by bringing you on the course. But that means to say, once that injury is cleared up and we're running another course in the summer, yeah, you guys undoubtedly will be the first guys that are on it. All right, so it's not doom and gloom. Go back to your company, report to your sergeant majors there, yeah, and just tell them what the situation is. All right, standards are standards, and we've just got to go with it. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Right, guys, thanks anyway.
What did you find toughest about it?
Last bit of the hull. Apart from that, it was alright. Should be harder. Just keep the drive, keep going. Keep your mates going with you. Get through it together. Cracking on, keeping the head down and doing it. The hill at the start, you know yourself, once you get to the top of the hill, you're coming back down, so that's a wee bit of morale booster. 4 miles up, hard miles up and then 4 easy miles down. But I never really found the 4 easy miles down easy, pretty challenging.
How are you feeling?
Disappointed in myself.
And why did you not pass it?
Due to an older injury I was carrying, and through my choice I decided instead of quitting the course at the beginning I would give it a try and see if I could get through it with my injury, but I'm afraid not.
What was that, your injury?
Severely strained and torn fibres of my Achilles tendon.
Well, it'd be pretty tough trying to do that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So you're going to try again?
I will do once we'll go away, get the injury healed better and hopefully get on the next course.
Very disappointed also, because this is the only chance we have also. So hopefully next time I'll try my best to do it. Because due to my just cramp, only few yards left, just cramp my legs, so it's very disappointing.
Today, we follow the men with the most dangerous job in Bosnia, clearing the minefields.
Every time we go to a high-risk mine area, before we go into it, we say, like, wiggle your toes moment, just in case we don't have them by the end of the day.
Find out why these minefields will take 100 years to clear. And the Royal Engineers with girlfriend problems. Banja Luka is the main British Army base. It's Lieutenant Mike Treffry Kingdom's first tour in Bosnia, and he's been given one of the toughest jobs.
They've just came out on at the end of September and here until the end of March and do a standard 6-month tour, which is what most people do here. So.
Long time, 6 months to be out here.
It's long enough time to get stuff done, but not too long to sort of make it elongated. So, but it's good fun. Yeah, it's a bit cheeky doing it over the winter though, because it's a bit cold. But that's about it, I must say.
And do you not get homesick?
Not really. No, I've been travelling away ever since I was little, so Mum doesn't worry. As long as I write to her and give her a phone call every week, she's quite happy with that. So no problems there at all.
What about your girlfriend?
Yeah, she's sort of not too happy about it, I suppose. But I phone her every now and again, and we try and keep things ticking over. But we'll see how that goes too.
One of the biggest challenges in Bosnia is clearing the millions of landmines which cover virtually the whole country. Mike has been put in charge of this operation. The British Army's job is to make sure the mines are cleared as quickly as possible, with the absolute minimum loss of life.
And I reckon probably in next week or so we'll probably start seeing a lot more snow on the ground.
Today, Mike's on his way to a minefield which is being cleared by a team from the Bosnian Serb army.
First time I visited the minefield, I didn't really know quite what to expect. The team leader led me down into the cleared area where the minefield used to be, and for about 30 seconds, every step I was thinking, is this going to be the mine under my foot? And then after that, it was a case of, well, no, this area is clear. I trust what these guys do. They are very professional. You know, I'm safe. I'm there to monitor and supervise. There'll never be the day that I'll actually have to go into the minefield itself and clear the mines. The danger's really there for the deminers. So.
The army has a rough idea of where to look for landmines through a mix of local contacts and old maps. But experts say that to remove every single mine here will take more than 100 years.
This area during the war, we're right by the Croatian border, so there was a lot of fighting here between the Serbs and the Croats. A lot of the minefields along the River Sava were put there as defensive measures to stop people from coming across from the Croatian side in the boats, patrolling and infantry. There are approximately 18,000 known minefields in the country. 18,000. And within M&D Southwest, there are approximately 5,800 known minefields. And out of the minefields and mined areas we know about, there are a number of areas that we don't actually know about.
So many mines were planted in Bosnia during the Civil War that they ran out of manufactured ones and started making their own homemade devices. Back at base, the army have collected samples of all the different mines they've found in Bosnia.
Of all the mines in Bosnia, this is the one to be feared of. This is the one the deminers fear, and it is an extremely lethal mine. If you were to tread onto this mine, there is virtually no chance that you will survive it. And people around you are likely to be killed or severely injured. This type of mine is a bounding fragmentation mine. How this mine works is it's buried into the ground up to its neck, with just the little fork sticking up. It can also have tripwires off it. As you tread on the mine or as you detonate the fuse on it, the mine itself bounces out of the ground to a height of roughly 0.7 or 0.8 of a metre, about this high. When it reaches that height, there's a cable attached to it, and that fires off a secondary charge within the main body, and then the mine actually fragments and scatters again, omnidirectional all around. The type of injury to one of these, if this goes off, it is looking at virtually cutting through a person almost in half and spreading the fragmentation over a very, very wide area. So of all the mines here, again, the Prom is the most lethal one of the lot.
The Royal Engineers have their own base at Sipovo. They're part of the peacekeeping force, and their work, building bridges, maintaining roads and providing support services, is essential for the smooth running of the British Army. Lieutenant John Baxter has teams of men working all over Bosnia. He has to monitor their progress and morale.
Although we do occasionally help the local community with construction projects, what we seem to be concentrating on now is just enabling the forces that are over here to do their job.
In a few weeks' time, this whole area will be covered in snow.
We have snow and ice clearance teams, SNCC teams, on shift 24 hours a day when this weather starts getting generally worse.
John's on his way to a remote army base at Manaka. It's where the British practice their live firing. A team of his men are building an accommodation block so that soldiers using the range can stay overnight. John needs to make sure work is progressing well. He also wants to check on the morale of his men who are living and working together in very isolated conditions. At the moment, accommodation on the site is one huge tent.
While we're working up here, we need somewhere to live, obviously, because we've stripped out the old living places. So basically this is where we're going to live for the duration of when we're working.
In fact, the tent is luxurious compared to the conditions these men have encountered elsewhere.
We're going to start moving back.
For temporary, this is excellent, because if it was a greenfield site, like just driven up and just started from scratch, we'd be living in this with no power coming into it, more than likely, or maybe like this, and then we'd be living, as we have done, we've been here before, sleeping in the ISO containers, no running water, no nothing. So if you want to have a shower, just wander across. So this is really good conditions to live and work in.
Thank you. We started digging out where the septic tanks are going in, and then it's rock. So we brought the breaker in, it's taking its time. We'll get through that and we should be finished that in the next couple of days.
Have you got dimensions for those tanks?
Yeah, it's 5 metres by 8 metres is the size of the hole we're digging out, and 3 metres deep, so we're going to have to shore it up or batter the banks and fence it off when we're finished.
Once the ground has been prepared and the septic tanks are in place, the Royal Engineers will begin to put the accommodation in. It's what the Army call corrymex, metal containers like shipping crates. This is where the soldiers staying at the base will live. Building work here is progressing well, and they're now ahead of schedule. There's time to get the snowplows ready for action. The Royal Engineers are used to hard work, but being based somewhere so remote, with so little to do, apart from work, is stressful.
There's nothing at all of any interest up here. Apart from we're away, we're self-contained, which is a good thing, I suppose. So we can do our own bits and pieces.
Meaning what?
Instead of having the normal daily life, like bits of paperwork coming out and all that's to fill in, we're away, we get on with work. If we want to work late, we work late. Get fed whenever we want. Or will be when we get up again, won't we? And just do what we want to do.
What do you do for fun?
What do you do for fun?
Sam's got plays the harmonica.
I play the harmonica
Yeah,
and
he
ride.
entertains us very well.
Yeah. And I ride a bike on a static trainer and go nowhere, don't I?
Yeah. Turbo trainer.
Turbo trainer. Dressed head to toe in lycra, obviously.
Like
Yeah, and that's what I do. I try to lend it to Andy, but don't quite fit, does it?
Yeah. Well, I like looking at you in lycra, which is amazing.
So what do you do then, Andy?
Well, at the moment, in the evenings,
Well, in the evenings, yeah.
because it's cold outside, I go into the heat, fall asleep with my boots on my bed, wake up about 2 hours later, have a shower and go to bed. That's it. There's not a lot to do up here, except read your book or watch the telly.
Is it a strain on relationships, just being away for 6 months?
You asked the correct.
You asked the correct.
Well done.
Well done.
Table tennis or not?
Yeah.
Scotch has been dumped.
I think I just got a DG on this week. Yeah, more than likely. I've just had a conversation with my girlfriend on Saturday. It's something to do with me being away a lot. I can't get that. Don't know what she means. I've been away since 21st of September. I've phoned her a couple of times, sent her a couple of emails. Yeah, it does. None of us seem to go out with women for very long. So it's mainly because we're always away. Even if you're back home in Germany, you only still go home 6 weeks a year.
So my dad was in the army. He knows exactly what it's all about. All my family know. My girlfriend knows that I'm away a lot. It doesn't seem to be a problem at the moment, but like Scotty says, you never know what's around the next corner.
I thought I was safe. Thought I had it in the bank on a complete winner. Phoned up and that's it. You never know what happens. Girlfriends team to get the mid-tour blues because we're suffering being over here, but we got each other to take the mickey out of, and we're actually doing something and keep them really busy. But them at the other end, they have us at home, don't they? And suddenly we just get up and go and don't bother phoning them for 2 or 3 weeks because we're busy, and they think that we just don't care and can't be bothered.
As Lieutenant Mike Trefry Kingdom heads for the demining area, he passes through a part of Bosnia that saw fierce fighting during the Civil War. Many of the houses are uninhabitable because they've been booby-trapped.
Yeah, about that. Right, here we've got a really good example of a village which has been destroyed during the war. This area here says just outside a place called Deventer, and it's very close to the now border with Croatia. Of all the places I've been in Bosnia so far, you tend to see the odd lone house destroyed, and lots of houses been rebuilt. Here, what you've got is a complete line of houses that have been destroyed. Common booby traps you would find is for people going through windows on the ground beneath the windows, put an explosive charge with a switch, wait for someone to press on the floorboard, and that's it detonated. And you're looking at low-limb injuries there. But booby traps are only limited by the imagination of the person who built them, so they can do everything from kill to maim. So what we've got here is a former Yugoslavian special electronic booby trap fuse. Now this is the fuse that can be placed inside mines, inside houses and used to booby trap. This particular model here is the heat sensitive version, and what this will do is this will detonate at 70 degrees C. So you can place this booby trap within the engine compartment of a vehicle, wait for the engine temperature to raise up and it can detonate. Other versions of this one, you can get one when this is cut open and you can have a light sensitive fuse in it. So you can place this in the room, arm it, close the door, someone can come along, open the door and a beam of light fall onto this fuse and then detonate. You can also get ones that are sensitive to noise, vibration, movement, almost anything.
One of the dangers the British Army has to look out for is mines dumped on the side of roads. These can easily damage or destroy armoured vehicles.
All it takes, the difference is between where I'm stood here, okay, and literally being stood, a foot or two to my left, there could be a mine under there. Because the area hasn't been cleared, it obviously hasn't been used, okay, we treat that as a very high-risk area.
After the break, the deminers discover 2 unexploded mines and find out whether Scotty sorts out his girlfriend problems. At the remote army base of Manaka, building work on the new accommodation blocks continues. After a week's hard graft, the team of Royal Engineers is back on schedule, and they've been lucky with the weather.
If we get bad weather and we can't work for a couple of days because of the weather, we'll end up doing shift work. One from 8 till 6 and one from 6 till 2 in the morning. So we've got concrete coming at 11 tomorrow. That's why we're trying to get a move on. Because this stuff's got to go down first, compacted. We're going to drop a compactor in, compact it by hand. We then put the sand down, then plastic sheet in, then the timber formwork, and then pour tomorrow at 11 o'clock. So we've got to be ready by 11. Easy, we should have it done by about 3 o'clock, we hope.
With so little to do in the evenings, some of the men have started going for a run after work, in the dark.
We went out running and got lost the other night. We ended up in the top junction. If you head along this road, you get to the top, the last hill where it drops into Banja We went out across that back bit, hit, I think it's Donkey, the next road. Instead of thinking we're on Smudge, turn left and run looking for the camp. When we come back in, we've been out an hour and 25. They were out in Land Rovers looking for us. We were jogging back by the moonlight. It was cold and wet and it wasn't funny. So we're going to take a map. We went yesterday, we'll take a map. We got lost again yesterday. Locals are giving us directions. Not very good, is it?
As Lieutenant Mike Treffry Kingdom arrives at the minefield, he's feeling a little tense.
Every time we go to a high-risk mine area, before we go into it, we say, like, wiggle your toes moment, and that is, okay, let's have a feel what our toes feel like now, that way, just in case we don't have them by the end of the day. We took every opportunity to wiggle our toes, so we're on a wiggle our toes time now. So.
The mine clearance is being carried out by the Bosnian Serb army, supervised by the British. The work is dangerous. In the previous 3 months, 2 men have been killed doing this elsewhere in Bosnia. The minefield's already been swept once, using a bazina, a machine like a combine harvester. The manual demining with a metal detector is taking place today.
Now this area on the right here is what the ground looked like before the bazina, that is the flail, went onto it. So it's quite overgrown, and the bazina flail goes through first and it destroys all the vegetation. It also just destroys most of the mines that were there first.
Most of the minefield has already been cleared. There's just a small area at the far end, next to the blue tape, which still needs to be checked.
If you look behind you now, you can see a few wooden posts with yellow tops on them. That is where mines have been found in the past few weeks.
Checking the minefield requires total concentration. Every square centimetre of this field has to be examined. Although these men are risking their lives, they are paid a pittance, about £5 a day, by the Bosnian Serb army. And they haven't been paid at all for the last 4 months. Now they're threatening to go on strike.
The first guy is crouched down, he's the actual deminer. he's doing the sweep with the metal detector and then prods the ground. The guy stood behind him is his supervisor. Now he's the one of the many stages of safety checks. He stands there, looks at the guy doing it, and is reminding him, okay, don't forget to check for tripwires, don't forget to look for this, make sure you stay within your safe area, don't stretch too far, make sure he's prodding the correct distances and the correct angles and so forth. And after a certain time, approximately 30 minutes, they then swap over and it gives the other deminer a break. What we don't want to happen is deminers working in a minefield day in and day out for long hours. They do short but concentrated periods and then come out and then get rotated through. So for example, a deminer may only actually demine 2 or 3 times a day. And what we'll do in a minute, we'll have a line of tape. They start there with a metal detector. They have 2 posts and they basically create a cleared lane running in. And they do one of those in and they may have another one 25 metres away running in from the other side, 25 metres from that side. Once they've done that lane, they'll come back, they'll overlap just slightly and go again. They'll go do that lane, come back, again overlap slightly and do another lane. So a majority of the time the ground actually gets checked twice because of the overlap from the previous lane.
At Manaka, it's time to lift the accommodation units into place.
These blocks are pissed.
The metal crates, Corimex, need to be positioned carefully onto concrete blocks.
Right, try that again, nice and slow.
Shock! We lost a day yesterday. We're going to try and pick it up this week while the good weather's in. Should pick that up by Saturday afternoon. And then once this is built, the roof comes in on Monday. So we get the first half of the roofing in, the second half comes in on Wednesday. Then we're quite happy then, because then we're going to be undercover, working undercover, so the weather can do what it wants. Just got the external walkways to go, and the rest is inside.
There are 20 Corimex to lift into position. Each one will eventually provide living quarters for 4 soldiers, a huge improvement on the tent the men are currently sleeping in.
That's it there, down.
Down?
Down.
Being up here is quite good fun, because when the wind comes in the evening, that tent lifts off and moves everywhere and shakes you out of your bed. So I've not had a lot of sleep the last couple of nights from up here.
And that's just because of the wind, is it?
Yeah, Thursday last week, you have ear defenders on, you can still hear the wind rolling up the valley. So you can't wait until the weather actually calms down and it starts snowing.
To keep on schedule, the engineers hope to have the first 8 Corimex in place by the end of the day.
OK, Joe.
Morale is high among the team, but for Scotty, girlfriend problems continue.
Miles away from home is better than being at home at the minute.
Why is that?
Girlfriend problems?
You're not sorted that yet?
No, not yet. It's not looking good either.
It's quite hard though, I suppose, isn't it? It's quite hard to sort it when you're stuck out here.
And everything's multiplied, isn't it? Because you're here. So you get a bit fed up, don't you?
How do you talk to her?
Don't.
Email her?
Yeah, sometimes. Try to, yeah. It is a phone as well, isn't it? They only get 20 minutes a week. It's ain't really long enough, and you've got to split between 3 or 4 people.
On the minefield, the deminers have found 2 landmines called PM2 Alphas and an old mortar bomb which hasn't detonated. To make the area safe, they must now prepare a controlled explosion. They blow them up by wrapping an explosive charge around the mines and the mortar bomb. For the explosion itself, the team needs to be at a safe distance. There are strict regulations to follow.
Okay, we've come up here because of the safety distance involved with the explosive. We need to be approximately 1,000 metres away, and that means that when the mines are destroyed, any metal fragments that may fly off won't travel this far at all. We're perfectly safe where we are.
Bingo!
The old minefield is now safe and ready to be returned to the local community for farming. Clearing Bosnia of its millions of landmines is one of the most valuable ways in which the British peacekeepers are helping to rebuild this damaged nation.